Valley Club, it is patch day in Raid Shadow Legends, and we got a calendar for some events coming up, including double drops for Primal shards, and we got the newly announced kits for 3 brand new champions. And if you already see all the details, you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin Raid channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having an excellent day, and I hope you're all ready for this patch that just dropped. Lots of new information and some previously announced information. We got it all for you in this video, and if you get some value, you leave the video a like, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you know as soon as a brand new raid video goes up. At least 6 pieces of Raid Shadow Legends content every single week on this channel. Let's talk about some of the events coming up later this week. We have on Thursday 2 times event for speed sets from the Dragon's Lair. Sunday, July 6th, 2x drops for reflex sets from Ice Collins Peak. And July 10th, Thursday, 2x for Banner Lords accessories from the Spider's Den. Also on Sunday, July 13th, 2x drop for regeneration sets from Fire Knight's Castle. And then on Friday, July 4th, there's a progressive chance for some champions as well. But the big thing, Friday, July 4th, 2x drop for epic and legendary champions from Primal shards. Also planning to 10x event for Karato the Covetous from Primal shards. So that is a good time to get some Primal shards as well. No double chance for mythical characters from Primal shards, but there is going to be a double drop for epic and legendary champs from Primal shards. But if you don't want to wait for a boosted summons event to potentially get a great champion, I do want to remind you guys that we are doing a giveaway for free PlayStation 5. The drawing will be done on July 8th. All you need to do is go to that Gleam page and start off a brand new Raid Shadow Legends account. The great thing is you're gonna get off to one of the best starts in Raid Shadow Legends with 3 legendary characters, 3 epic characters. Starting off with Karato Fox Hunter, you could use a code to get a legendary character right off the bat. My recommendation would be to get Tholan Foulbeard, but there's a bunch of other champs that you get. The codes are down below, and then you get 3 epic champs, some of the best epic champs in the game as well. So this will get you off to one of the best starts in Raid Shadow Legends and potentially get you a PlayStation 5 through that Gleam link. Again, no purchase necessary. All you need to do is start off a brand new copy of Raid and do all the things on that Gleam, and that is it. You do need to be in the US to potentially win this. I'm only shipping to US residents. And once you've done the requirements on Gleam, there's a bunch of other ways that you can enter as well, including a secret code coming up on one video on this channel. We've already had 2 secret codes in previous videos. We have 1 more coming up that you get even more entries for that PlayStation 5. Let's talk about the update 10.55.0, and it's going to introduce major seed battles expansion. So this is great probably if you're in the mid game and late game. Still trying to figure out the siege battle thing right now in my alliance. The next stage of the Chaos Awaken events, which includes a free champ, Lemonisi the Goldwing. Everyone is gonna get her free legendary and a heap of quality of life improvements. And we got 3 new champions that were announced as well. So siege expansion, significant expansion to siege battles in an upcoming update. The change includes new building levels, new defensive mechanics, and a couple of quality of life changes for the community. So the new building levels, the highest possible of clan forces, will increase from 3 to 6, and each new upgrade will unlock more defensive slots. Level 6 Stronghold is 30 defensive teams. Level 6 Mana Shrine, 18 defensive teams. Level 6 Magic Tower, 9 defensive teams, and level 6 Defensive Tower, 12 defensive teams. Keep in mind that increasing any building's level above 3 will cost more resources than before, and repair costs have likewise increased. On the other hand, you'll earn more mana orbs for defending high-level strongholds, mana shrines, and you'll also gain an opportunity to earn more orbs for rebattling enemy teams in the mana shrines that you capture during the battle phase, since there are more teams to fight. Traps, the new defensive mechanic that they're adding to sieges called Traps, with update 10.55, available in defensive towers and magic towers. These traps can be installed by any player who assigns their champions to serve as defensive teams within the overall limits, of course, and provide various effects. Some traps can conceal the defensive team's champions' total power. Other force the attacker to contend with adverse effects such as irresistible debuffs hitting specific champions or other tricks that limit their team's effectiveness. It sounds very, very fun. I wish I had more experience in the siege towers. Each eligible tower, it may not be damaged, will get 3 randomized trap options at the beginning of the siege, and any player can choose to activate one of their own defensive teams. Cost of florins and mana orbs. You only have 2 active traps per tower, and the overall traps in the clan fortress depends on the stronghold level. So stronghold level 1 is 2 traps, 2 4 traps, and it goes up to level 6 with 18 traps there as well. Traps can be deactivated and reactivated during the prep phase, and any spent resources will return to the player. Clan leaders can deactivate any clan member's traps they wish. The player will be reimbursed in that case as well. We'll give the clan leaders the option to remove any defensive teams they deem improperly placed in the prep phase. Opposing clan will see the traps and its effects and reveal the defensive team that activated. Important note, only the first player to attack the defensive team in question will suffer the trap's negative effects, albeit they will persist throughout the attempts defeating the team's defensive teams. Therefore, it's possible to sacrifice an attack scroll and have another clanmate dislodge the defenders without having to deal with the traps that you could fail to win on your first battle. So it will require some coordination between you and your alliance. New siege tiers, also adding new siege tiers 7 and 8 to the game. Progressing these tiers. I'm not even sure what tier my alliance is right now, so all this stuff is good. And if you're late game, this is great for you. Probably mid game as well. Right, Chaos Awakens Phase 2, and this is gonna be involving daily login champ Lemonisi, the Goldwing. We did describe her in previous events. She seems like an okay champ. It's a legendary champ, not the best legendary champ in the game, but free is free. I'll take free. I like some of the collection aspect of Raid Challenge as well. And yeah, she's an attack champion. Anything else new? No, I think I think all this stuff is said before. All right, rebalancing the Chimera. The ram form, basically the ram form is going to become easier. The lion form is going to get harder. The Chimera will inflict 10% of damage instead of 25 for the ram form. Whenever you place a fear debuff on it, a true fear will negate the damage reflection altogether. Should these debuffs trigger and prevent the Chimera from using the active skill, its turn meter will be increased from 25% down from 50%, and the dual progress bar will now be 0.5% of the Chimera's max health down from 1%. However, the ram form will get its base accuracy increased to 100%, so it'll be harder to resist the debuffs that it applies. And the lion form becomes stronger, its base attack increase, shred reality will now become a guaranteed AoE attack, and the second hit in the atomizing roar will fully ignore the target's defense. Several shrouds will be adjusted to make it easier to complete. So I guess that at least for me, the nerf is good. The buff, since I'm not really doing a lot of Chimera damage, I guess that's not that great right now, but I guess maybe long term it's going to be great. Quality of life, the champions of the vault will become agreeable to upgrade and use for food. Instant rank in the tavern, I guess that's good when you're trying to really upgrade champs at a fast pace. The new option called commission will be available. Faction Guardians tab. Commission champions assigned to a Faction Guardian chamber permanently grant the chamber's bonus, remove the champions from storage, unlock the chamber. I guess that's good. So less champs stored in our vault is the way I'm understanding this. You'll get an option to refresh certain advanced quests you don't find them suitable. The new feature is limited to 1 refresh per day, but several eligible quests may be available simultaneously. You'll get to choose which one to refresh. Clan quests to survive 150 turns more in Hydra battles on brutal difficulty will be simplified. You only need to survive 100 turns now, the Hydra battles. Clan rewards tab, accessible in the battle menu, updated for the clan boss battles, clearly indicate the damage you've dealt to claim one of the chests. Rank up items like chicken feast will be stacked in by rank in the tavern to avoid unnecessary clutter. You'll get a slider to choose the number of chickens you want to upgrade. Oh, that is good. That's just like a visual upgrade there. We'll increase the size of gold and silver tiers in the tag team arena. Man, I'm still in the bronze tier. But we just got Arbiter and we got Marishka last week, so I think we're going to be climbing in Tag Team Arena. 19 champions will receive AI behavior buffs to tweak their PvP. You'll find specifics in the dedicated in-game news about these AI changes, so I guess that will be popping up in the in-game news later. All right, rebalanced champions. Diamant Copper Coin Legendary Champ got rebalanced. This was talked about last week. A bunch of different announcements. So you have this champ, great. Same thing with Android the Glorious Mythical Champion that got rebalanced. The new champ, Titus Black Plume, man, people are using this on the test server. And while he seemed bad on paper, it seems like he's gonna get a nerf because he does so much damage because of this A2, I believe, on his shield. Attacks one enemy that's attacked, all is critical as champion under shield buff. Also gains damage boost equal to the value of the shield. So I guess people are placing big shields on this champion and getting some huge damage from him. I'm gonna go for this champ. I like to go for all these champs, even Ishiyama, who still hasn't gotten any use for me, but the chase is pretty fun for me. But yeah, if this guy does not get nerfed, it looks like he's gonna be doing some huge damage numbers, putting up. His kit looked a little weird at first, but when some of the test server footage came out this morning, man, he looks like he's doing a lot of damage. New champ, Amok, the first Satrap, is a legendary magic support from the Lizardman faction. Attacks one enemy on the A1, 100% chance of stealing a random buff from the target. Also 50% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. And then the damage goes up and the buff debuff chance goes up by 10% with books. The A2 attacks one enemy, 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased resistance buff, pain link debuff, and a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. These debuffs are protected against the bosses. Kills all allies by 5% of this champion's max health for each buff placed. It's a 4-turn cooldown, and the cooldown goes down, and the debuff chance goes up when you book this. The A3 places a block debuffs buff on all allies for 2 turns. Heals all allies by 15% of this champ's max health. Heals each ally by additional 3% for each debuff on that man. Very strong support champion with a lot of healing here. Removes any debuffs from allies' negative affecting stats and replaces them with mirrored buff equivalents, such as decreased attack being replaced with increased attack. Debuffs such as block, buffs, heal reduction, and weaken replaced by block debuffs, continuous heal, and strengthen buffs respectively. And booking this brings a cooldown to 4 when it's fully booked. And the passive increases champion's max health by 10% whenever this champion heals themselves using skill, stacks up to 50%. Man, so a lot of it is based on the max HP, and the max HP goes up whenever this champion heals himself. And the aura, more HP in all battles by 28%. All of them. They're very strong support champ. I like this guy. Osgrun the Defiler is a dwarf. We're getting a lot of good dwarfs in the game. Magic support dwarf faction. He is a A1. Attacks one enemy. 50% chance of increasing the cooldown of a random active skill on the target by 2 turns. Also fill the turn meter of all allies by 10%. Very strong controller here. All right, the A2. 75% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies. Decrease the turn meter of all enemies whenever whose turn meter is equal or lower to, decrease the turn meter of all enemies whose turn meter is equal to or lower than 50% by 20. Okay, so if they are equal or lower than 50, they're gonna get reduced by 20. If the enemy's turn meter is more than 50, decreased by 50%. So either decreasing by 20 or 50%. 75% chance of playing a stun debuff for 1 turn on enemies whose turn meter was reduced by 50%. And that goes up to 100% when it's fully booked. 3-turn cooldown. Very strong control champs coming. Teams up with allies to attack a single enemy. These allies joining the attack whose their defaults will use their default skills before attacking. Places a 50% increased attack buff and a 50% shatter buff on all allies for 2 turns. Ooh, this is a strong one. Decrease the cooldowns of all allies' active skills except this champion by 1 turn if a target is killed. 4-turn cooldown when fully booked. This guy could be very strong on the right team's passive. Dark Whisperings. Allies deal 20% increased damage against enemies under stun debuff, and you can place that stun on enemies whose turn meters was reduced on that A2. The active effect. Whenever ally is killed, instantly activates Magic of Ireth. Skill will not put this skill on cooldown. There are multiple champs in the skill. This will only activate once, and that is the one removing all debuffs and decreasing the turn meter for enemies as well. That is a strong skill whenever ally is killed. So maybe pairing this with someone that could bring characters back to life, so it's not that bad if they die. I like what I'm seeing from these champs so far, and this epic champ, I'm not sure if this is going to be the fusion for Titus, that big legendary fusion, but he's an epic void support from the Skinwalkers faction. Attacks 1 enemy 2 times on the A1. The first hit, 30% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. The second hit, 30% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. And the buff chance goes up by 20% when fully booked. The A2 places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Places a 15% continuous heal on all allies for 1 turn. Cooldown goes up to 3 turns, or goes down to 3 turns when it's fully booked. Yellow hand collar attacks all enemies. Decrease turn meter of all enemies by 15%. 50% chance of playing a stun debuff on all enemies by 1 turn. And the cooldown goes to 3, and buff chance goes up by 25% when fully booked. Whenever an ally is attacked, fill this champion's turn meter by 5% as the passive once per attacked ally, and increases attack in all battles by 25%. So a lot of strong support champions, and this big damage champion, potentially, if he does not get nerfed, big damage from Titus, the fusion going on this month. Let me know what you think of these new champs. Let me know what you think of these quality life changes. Are these siege changes gonna affect you, or are they further along in the game as your progress? Hopefully you did get some value from this video, and if you did, leave it a like. Check me out on social media. Make sure there's only a few more days for you to potentially win a PlayStation 5. Make sure you enter that contest. I will see you guys next time. Good luck with the contest. Good luck with the fusions. Good luck with your mystical pulls. I will see you guys next time. Hulk fist bump. ValleyFlyin out. Take care, guys.